How good is the start?
It's a good start.
It's a great start.
Yeah, it's the first win.
And why do we play?
You play to win the game.
And what do we want?
I want winners.
I'm not bipartisan. I'm not bipolar. I'm not Biden.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
And so is Iowa State, who pulls off the upset over a top 25 Kansas State, 24-21. This game was all over the map, man. The first quarter was garbage. It looked awful. I'm making jokes about how these dudes can't hold on to the football. They're going to end up being like Darnell Jefferson in the program. And if you ain't seen that movie, I'll explain to you. Darnell Jefferson was one of these dudes that I do not like who put the ball on the floor. You ought to be putting the ball on the floor. I don't like your kind. I don't like what you stand for. I don't like who you are. So what does his coach say? He says, I'm going to hand you this football. And at the end of the week, you better be the person to hand me this football back. Catch is, you got to walk with this football everywhere you go. I want to see you with it at class. I want to see you at dinner. I want to see you when you're studying. And I'm telling the entire football team to try to strip you of this football. And if anybody brings back this football to me other than you, you're going to wish you were never born. Because that's what we do with the football. We take care of the football. They were not taking care of the football at Kansas State or Iowa State. I don't give a damn if they were into the Guinness, and I'm sure that they weren't. This game was wild. 2 turnovers for Kansas State, 1 turnover for Iowa State. Turnover battle usually tells you who won the game, but Kansas State was getting home early. Like Rocco Becht was on his back 4 times in this game. 19 first downs, 13 first downs, 3 of 14 on third down for Iowa State. They could not get it done until it was finally time to get it done. Kansas State wasn't that much better, 5 of 13. But when it was absolutely positively we get it done and we turn the ball over, Iowa State was elite. 3 for 3 on fourth down, where Kansas State was 1 for 4 on fourth down. A huge one late in the fourth quarter, where it's a 3-point game. It's 17-14 Iowa State. Kansas State's on their own 30-yard line. It's 4th and 1. They call a quarterback sweep. Avery Johnson did not launch his body up into the air, and he got absolutely smashed at the line of scrimmage. They got a rough spot, but you know what? You get a rough spot when you don't launch your body over the line of scrimmage and get the first down without anybody needing to go measure a damn thing. And in replay, I just didn't see that was going to happen. So what we ended up with is Iowa State getting the ball back and Iowa State doing exactly what they wanted to do the rest of the way, which is run the football well. They had over 100 yards rushing in the second half between Carson Hansen and Abdusama. Hansen finishes 16 rushes, 71 yards. Abdusama 14 for 43. And Rocco Becht was pretty damn good, 12 for 18. But throwing the ball, just 14 to 28, 50%, 183, 2 TDs, no interceptions, which I think is huge. Meanwhile, Kansas State, we got 70% completion from Avery Johnson, who played really well, 21 to 30 for 273 yards, 2 TDs. Didn't get much out of the run game. They got just 110 yards on 27 carries. It was about 4 yards per carry. And you got to see Jace Brown be Jace Brown, right? 4 catches, 78 yards, and a TD, joined by Jaron Bradley, who also had 3 for 75 with a TD. But I was really fascinated to find out whether or not that missed field goal in the first half is going to come back to haunt Iowa State, going for 49 yards. Missed it, made the second, so we don't have a case of the shakes over there. But this game went about the way that I thought it was going to go. Iowa State, according to our partners at Bet Online, was a 3-point underdog in this game. And I picked them to win. So I'm 1-0 on the season already. Picking winners. It's what we do. And they covered by some margin, I might add, right? Kansas State, I don't know that they'll be a top 25 team when we do the rankings again coming off of Labor Day weekend. But I don't think there's anything in this game that would disprove them. These are 2 of the best teams in the Big 12. And the Big 12 has had 5 different champions over the last 5 years. And Iowa State and Kansas State have been right there at the end, right? Kansas State, who upset Texas Christian in the 2022 Big 12 championship game. Texas Christian still made the national championship game, national title runner-up. Iowa State, who made the Big 12 championship after putting together a 10-win season to get there, gets walloped by Arizona State, but then comes back in the Pop-Tart Bowl, beats a Miami that was led by Cam Ward, and get their 11th win. The first time they've ever had 11 wins in school history. Matt Campbell has made Iowa State his home. I mean, the man is very close to being statue level, if not already. When he got to Iowa State, it didn't really have an identity. And he found one. He found one in Jack Trice, which is a story that we'll tell you about and that they honor, right? Jack Trice Stadium. He also found leadership that he wanted to work with. And he's had opportunities to leave that place for not just Power 4 jobs, but NFL jobs. He's taken less money to make sure his assistants get paid well. He recruits the guys that he think can work for him. They're not usually 4 and 5 star players, but they are really great players. Rocco Becht being one of them. Another one a few years ago by the name of Breece Hall, unanimous All-American. Wasn't that highly touted coming out of Wichita. Another guy, Brock Purdy, was a 7th round draft pick by the 49ers, ends up leading them to a Super Bowl. And between Brock Purdy and Breece Hall, you get that first major bowl victory for Iowa State in school history, right? Farmageddon is the longest running rivalry between two FBS programs that we have, because Ohio State and Michigan did not play in 2020 because Michigan pulled out due to COVID. So 109 straight years they played this game, and it matters. Like Kansas State will tell you, we hate that team more than we hate Kansas. Iowa State will tell you, it's close there. Like, I think when they get to beat Iowa, it's close, but there's no love lost in this game. Pitchforks or pigskins, which one do you want, dog? Matt Campbell's been one of my favorite guys to watch come up. You know, the ways in which that he loves to play football and the ways in which his teams play. I always say your program takes on the identity of its head coach. This is a man who was an All-American coming out of high school at Massillon, ends up at Pitt, plays fine, but isn't having that much fun. And he gets to see a bunch of guys running down the highway in their gym shorts and gym t-shirts. And he thought, that's kind of football a team I want to be a part of. Turned out to be Larry Karras' Mount Union, who described playing for him as making a fist, put it into a pile of gravel, and rubbing your knuckles in it. You can do that. You can play for me. Matt Campbell, who told me at Iowa State, sometimes you got to go up the rough side of the mountain. And that's what they're doing. So they go all the way to Dublin to get this conference victory against Kansas State, which I thought was wild. And we'll see how the next few weeks go back, because we know how travel and jet lag can have an effect on the body and how you play. But this is really, really great. This is an outstanding matchup. This is an outstanding game between top 25 opponents. We don't usually get that in week 0, so I choose to cherish that. I don't think you're going to see Iowa State move up that far due to this, but I think there's more people that are going to put them in the top 25, myself included. We'll see who gets to drop out of this, but we got a few more games that are going to decide not just top 25s, but college football playoff, right? We got Miami, Notre Dame. We got LSU, Clemson. We got Ohio State, Texas. We got Alabama, Florida State. We'll see if Florida State's got something going on. And the Big 12 will continue to be just nasty. Like all of those coaches more or less agree. It could be every program in that conference has at least 2 losses, and you're back to where you were last year. Now, with the SEC going to a 9-game schedule, maybe we get a little bit more like fairness, meaning we get more than one Big 12 team, more than one ACC team into this thing more often. But I don't see it going that way. You're going to have to win the Big 12 championship to ensure that you get an invitation to the 12-team playoff. And Iowa State looks like that team right now. That's sexy, right? They go and they beat Kansas State. They are went up against a Chris Kleiman team that lost Dylan Edwards early in the first half. Out for the game. We'll see what else is left for him. And then Sterling Lockett was back there. For those of y'all don't know, the Locketts, they from around here. They from round the way. Okay. I went to school with Locketts. I went to school with Tyler. But they got Aaron, and they got Kevin, and they got Sterling. And all they do is keep making Locketts and sending them to Kansas State. Telling y'all, share the wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, man. I looked up, somebody texted me. They was like, is that another Lockett from around here? Yes, that's another Lockett from around here who's going to be doing some damage. And if you don't think they do no damage, ask Zach Sanchez what Tyler Lockett did to him. Some damage, dog. Some long-term damage. Probably what we're going to see from Kansas State, who's basically won 9 games every year that Chris Kleiman has been there. But when you play a program that's as good as you are, Iowa State, you got to take care of the football, and you got to convert your 4th downs if you're going to go for them. You can't be 1 of 4. That's not going to work for you. I hate it for my guy Matt Wells, who's also from around here, who was last calling plays when he was head coach at Utah State, and then he hired a little-known dude by the name of Josh Heupel to call them for him. He was head coach at Texas Tech for a while, was an offensive analyst at Oklahoma before he went to Manhattan last year and finally got to call some plays this year, and this is going to be an L for him, but great play by his quarterback. And for the most part, you know what you have. You have Dylan Edwards back there. Does it change things? Maybe, maybe not. But for now, Iowa State, top of the Big 12 standings, 1-0.